The U.S. Marine Corps have this legendary supersonic jet. The McDonnell Douglas F-4 Phantom II is a legendary aircraft that served as an emblem of the Vietnam War and the prototype for third-generation jet fighter designs that saw service in the 1960s. These powerful supersonic fighters were produced in excess of 5,000 pieces, and many of them are still in use by various air forces today. Some of them have even participated in actual combat. Want to know more? Hey guys, welcome to our channel Future Warplanes, where we tell you about military fighter jets, military drones, and military planes from the currently famous in the air to the most advanced around the world. So stay with us till the end of this video so you don't miss out on any of this information. And before we proceed, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon so you don't miss out on any of our amazing videos in the future. And let's begin. However, are upgraded F-4s actually on par with fourth-generation fighters? None of these Phantoms have participated in air-to-air combat in the 21st century, but F-4 Phantoms have occasionally engaged in non-lethal dogfights with Greek F-16s. But the Phantom's performance in air-to-air combat over Vietnam, particularly when compared to its replacement, the F-15 Eagle, which has never been shot down in air-to-air combat, has left it with a reputation as a clumsy behemoth reliant on raw engine power and antiquated weapons technology. By 1970, the Phantom's main problems had been fixed, and more recently, its avionics and ordnance systems had been updated to meet contemporary requirements. These updated Phantoms are being used by the Turkish and Greek air forces, and they can perform nearly all the same tasks as an F-15, but for a far lesser cost. The F-4 was a breakthrough design when it was released in 1958 and went on to break numerous flying records. With unloaded weight of 30,000 pounds, the aircraft's huge J-79 twin engines provided and continue to provide the plane with outstanding thrust, allowing it to reach a top speed of 1,473 miles per hour while traveling more than twice the speed of sound. 3 times as much ammunition as the massive B-17 bombers of World War II could carry, the early Phantoms could carry 18,000 pounds of ordnance. While the pilot concentrated on flying, the weapons officer in the backseat could manage the advanced radar, communication, and weapon systems of the aircraft. Additionally, the F-4 served in the United States was available in ground-based and carrier-based variants, Navy, Marines, and Air Force. The F-35 is the only other frontline fighter that has previously or since served in all 3 services. However, the F-4 sustained losses in 1965 when it was pitted against the North Vietnamese Air Force's lighter MiG-17 and MiG-21 fighters. U.S. involvement in the Korean War. For every one of its aircraft lost in air-to-air combat, the Air Force had shot down 6 to 10 enemy fighters. The ratio was closer to 2 to 1 in Vietnam, including other aircraft types besides the Phantom. The absence of a built-in cannon was the F-4's main flaw. The older AIM-4 Falcon, the radar-guided AIM-7 Sparrow, and the heat-seeking AIM-9 Sidewinder were all that were used, as all other air-to-air missiles were completely new. Those early missiles were horrible, but the Air Force was unaware of it. According to studies, 45% of AIM-7s and 37% of AIM-9s used in the Vietnam War failed to launch or lock on, and after evasive maneuvers, the likelihood of scoring a kill for the 2 types of weapons plummeted to 8% and 15% respectively. The Pentagon later removed the Falcon missiles from service because they were considerably worse. The heavier, less maneuverable F-4, despite its speed, would lose to the North Vietnamese MiGs, which were armed with both cannons and missiles, on the MiG-21. Even worse, the Air Force believed that air-to-air conflicts would take place at a great distance using missiles, so American pilots were not trained for close-quarter dogfights. In addition, the Phantom J-79 engines created a dense black smoke, which, when paired with the aircraft's bigger size, made it simpler to see and shoot the Phantom from a distance. The advantage of the missiles were further crippled by the rules of engagement in place over Vietnam, which forbade American aircraft from firing at unidentified targets beyond of visual range. But the issues with the F-4 started to fade. Later variants of the Sparrow and Sidewinder brought to a significant advancement in air-to-air missile technology. The internal M161 Vulcan gun was finally added to the F-4E variant. Some Phantom units formerly had to make do with external, loudly vibrating gun pods. The only known aerial gun kill at supersonic speed was done in 1972 by Major Phil Handley, flying an F-4 who used his plane's gun to bring down a MiG-19. Eventually, wing slats were installed on every F-4E owned by the Air Force, greatly enhancing maneuverability at the expense of a little reduction in speed. Even the issue of the F-4's audible black smoke was resolved by new J-79 engines. In contrast, the Navy saw the issue of being one of a lack of training in air combat maneuvering and launched the Top Gun training program in 1968. Navy pilots went on to defeat Vietnam with a kill ratio of 40 triumphs to 7 lost aircraft in air-to-air combat. The Air Force's Phantoms were responsible for 107 air-to-air kills compared to the Marine Corps' 3 and the loss of 33 to MiGs. As the heavy-lifting Phantom fighters also served as ground attack aircraft, ground fire brought 474 Phantoms down across all services. The RF-4 photo reconnaissance aircraft, which was speed optimized, and the Wild Weasel, which was built specifically to assault enemy surface air-to-missile defenses, stood out as 2 other subvariants of the Phantom. Before being retired in 1996, American F-4s would lastly see action in Operation Desert Storm. Later, the Pentagon turned some of them into QF-4 drones for target practice. Nevertheless, there were numerous Phantoms in every country. Starting in 1969 during the War of Attrition, the Israeli Air Force used the F-4 extensively, gaining 116 air-to-air victories over the Egyptian and Syrian air forces. The Ophir Air Base was attacked by 28 Egyptian MiGs during one flight on the first day of the Yom Kippur War in 1973. 7 of the assailants were shot down by the 2 Phantoms, who were the only ones to successfully scramble in defense. During these battles, Arab surface-to-air missile batteries were the main target and worst adversary of the Israeli Phantoms. The majority of the 36 Israeli Phantoms destroyed in combat were SAMs. The Israeli Phantom Force's final mission occurred during Israel's 1982 intervention in the War of Lebanon, when Phantoms, escorted by new F-15s and F-16s, destroyed all 30 of Syria's SAM batteries in the Bekaa Valley in a single day without losing a single aircraft. This operation was known as Operation Mole Cricket 19. Prior to the Iranian Revolution, the U.S. gave Iran 225 F-4s. During the 9-year war with Iraq, they served as the core of the Iranian fighter force. According to reports, the Phantom performed admirably against Iraqi MiGs and conducted a number of long-distance raids on the country's airfields. The precise number of air-to-air fatalities is still up for debate. The Phantom is still in use today, but it's a bit of an outlier. Just contrast that to the F-15 Eagle. The F-15, which entered service in 1975, is representative of 4th-generation fighter aircraft, which are still the backbone of contemporary air forces. Also, the F-15 intentionally differs from the F-4. It is a big twin-engine 2-seat fighter that is also nimble. In 1982, over Lebanon, the F-15 and the smaller F-16 engaged in their first significant aerial combat, shooting down more than 80 Syrian 3rd-generation MiGs without suffering any damage. In the Gulf War, the 4th-generation superiority was once again demonstrated when Iraqi fighters lost 33 3rd-generation aircraft while only downing 1 4th-generation fighter, which was an FA-18 Hornet. In this unfamiliar environment, how could the F-4 possibly keep up? But can't we all agree that the equipment and gadgets are outdated? Not really. For instance, updated F-4s have better heads-up displays so that pilots don't have to look down from the canopy to check on their instruments. And that's it for today, guys. We sincerely hope you enjoyed our video. If so, please click on the like button and share with your friends and family. If you have any questions or comments, you're always welcome to share them with us in the comment space below. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to see even more of our incredible videos. Hey, we'll catch up with you in our next one. Thanks for watching.